Hey guys, welcome to another episode of David Realty. Today we're going to kind of cover motivation. I've been getting a lot of questions asking, how do you keep going? How do you keep pushing forward, even though there's not really any results to measure your progression with? Um, just to give us a summed up summarization of all this, simple answer is a lot of people expect quick results. You expect if I do a push up, I should have huge chest. If I do a sit up, I should have six packs. And a lot of people put that same concept into their day to day life, not really even thinking about it. Somewhat is if I buy a house, I'm going to make $1 million right now. If I start writing a book, get on page 4, it should have been done. Where's the gratification out of this? And that's kind of a big problem I see with a lot of people. People need to, in general, myself included, this is actually the push of advice somebody gave me that pushed me forward extremely well. And that's to understand that there's no instant gratification for what you do. If you're to start a project, let's say you get into real estate. Real estate is a tricky game, and you don't become a millionaire in 6 minutes or a month, sometimes not even a year. I mean, people do pull it off in a good 30, 40 days. Some people take 2 or 3 years. The process, though, is to make steps, small steps. Write out a plan, write out on the very top, be a millionaire, and then kick all down the ladder with different steps and progressions to what you want to do. And let's stick on real estate. Good example. I want to be a millionaire. What's the next step? So we have our top. What's on the bottom? Where we are today. Let's just hypothetically say right now I'm nowhere. I'm at a low paying job. I'm following people. I'm getting nowhere personally to support myself, my family, or have any of the dreams come true that I've wanted. So your first step would obviously be I need to create a plan. You need to create what you want to do to get up to there. It's somewhat of the same idea of baby steps. You need to create smaller steps to the bigger step, engage those in progression, and look at it as in I'm not a millionaire, but I did finish step 2. What does that give me at this point? And another key phrase that I say to myself every time I get to a point to where I'm just like, screw it, I'm done. I cannot do this no more. Nothing's happening. I'm getting nowhere. I've been doing real estate for so long, and I haven't gotten no results. And just to show that I'm in the same boat a lot of people were at one point, it took me almost 2.5 years to finally land a deal in real estate. 2.5 years. You always hear about these quick, rich things, a lot of these how to market, etc., and people do it in 10, 20 days. How I felt was insane, and that's why it took so long, because I kept giving up. I'm like, I don't understand. This Bob over here can become a millionaire in 6 months, and I'm still working a crappy job, making barely any money, can't get by, kind of thing, pulling out loans to pay a credit card, which is just a horrible thing to do. Just for the long run, you're not going to get nowhere with that. What needs to be done is just steps. And for my real estate, it was a really simple thing. I was like, first thing I need people that want to buy from me. Because obviously, if I buy a house, I got to sell it, right? That's kind of where the money was at. That was my philosophy back then. I've learned now the money in real estate is actually when you buy it. And again, I'll cover that in another video down the road. But what I did was I found my buyers. I was like, all right, cool. I got this lineup of people. Hey, they want to buy things from me when I get them great deals. And then my next step was like, I need to find some deals. How do you find houses? I mean, you can't just go to an MLS and start flipping through them and doing them. So what I did was I created smaller goals and I kept going. And this was the motivation that I needed to move forward. So to sum up the entire video and the concept of this is to understand that instant gratification is never going to make you the best you'll ever be. And like I was saying before, the phrase that pushed me forward was every time I felt like I can't do this, I'm not getting nowhere, I would always say to myself, this is the point people give up. And it's true. A lot of people will get to a point where they work hard, they keep pushing, 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 and then they quit and they get nowhere. That's why we have 99% of the country considered poor, is because 99% of the country give up. And I understand there's a lot of different reasons for that. I mean, it could be family, deaths, etc., etc. I'm not judging nobody, but I am saying anybody with the right motivation could be anything. Right now we got a president that's black that's president. From what I'm hearing, he wasn't even American. So we got a man that went from nothing to the most powerful man in the country. We got Bill Gates that dropped out of college, became a billionaire. We got the Mark Zuckerberg that got kicked out of, we didn't get kicked out of school, but he had his problems at school and became a billionaire. We got all these crazy ideas going on. And these people, when they got to the point of breaking, they didn't stop and become that 99%. They kept pushing. And now they're that 1%. And that 1% is, not going to say money buys happiness, but money does buy a jet ski or something like that. So definitely, when you have that moment where you feel like, I can't do this no more. This is getting nowhere. I'm not getting results. Stop and think. This is where most people give up. And at that point, look at your plan. Change your plan. Alter your plan. Plans aren't written in stone. Goals are not written in stone, per se. Your ultimate goal is. But the goals to that goal are always flexible, and they should be. Don't overdo it. Don't say, I want to be a millionaire by the end of the year. So in the first 3 months, I need to make $250,000. If that's not possible for you, if you're working at McDonald's, you have 4 kids, and you're barely getting by and you're in debt, you're probably not going to get there. You could, don't get me wrong. It could be done. I've seen it happen. But don't put yourself down because you didn't make that goal. Stop and think, okay, maybe $250,000 is a little intense. Let's bump it down to $10,000. And then just grow, and grow. Once you start getting the large amount of money, you reinvest, and then that number becomes huge, and it expands, and then that $1 million dream will be a lot closer than what it originally thought it would be. So that's it for today on motivation. Just kind of a small aspect of me personally, how I've dealt with it, what I do, and just ways to think about how you can keep going forward. Again, just remember, when you get to that point where you just can't do it no more, nothing seems right, relook at your goals, and remember, most people give up the moment you feel like breaking. Don't be like everybody else. Move forward and be that 1 out of 10 that does not give up. So till then, we'll see you again. Thanks.